Yo, what's happening? We are back in here. It's your man Tyrone, aka Mr. Chocolate. I got the big homie Black Pearls in the house. Hey, I got the doctor. I said the doctor's in the house, Dr. Roy Rain.
Act like y'all know.
And we got who this? Oh, we got my man Rudy. He's in the house. My man Rudy is here. What's going on, brother? All right. You know, I hit him with the peephole. All right. So, what's been going on, man? What's been going on out here?
Chilling. Living life. What about you?
Getting ready for this storm.
Yeah, I heard some people got the day off.
Why you got him started again?
People poking at me, man. Like, I got a day off.
You melting the chocolate because he gotta go to work.
I keep checking my email. Like, oh, hold on, is this the one? No,
it's over.
It's over, man. It's like
your people are asleep already, getting ready for work tomorrow.
It's over. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, so hopefully everybody's surviving the storm. If you're down here in the Carolinas, you know, it's a little storm. Florida. Oh yeah, Florida. Y'all got that Grand Wizard in charge, so he's bringing bad juju to the state. Really? I call him the Grand Wizard of Florida, but that's a whole, it's neither here or there.
Okay. Let's pass the mic to Rudy so he could tell us a little about himself.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, so my name is Rudy. A lot of people may know me by my official name, Raymond Vaughn Jr., but everybody know me by Rudy. So I also run a photography business. The name of that business is R&T Visions Photography.com. We're also on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Snapchat, and we're on. I can't think of the name of the platform.
OnlyFans.
TikTok.
But now
right. But definitely look out for us. We're definitely on the rise, trying to capture like great moments of people's lives. People don't realize how valuable a photograph is, including the way people are leaving and passing. Man, those are like still memories that you can always keep of a person. So I tell people, like, take pictures. Video. We do videography. We tapping into that a little bit. So like those still moments, those videos, yeah, they mean everything, and people need to tap into it.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how important pictures are until that's all you have left.
Right.
Yeah, that's real, because I've lost a few people, and then you be like scrambling, trying to find a picture.
Right.
Look at this, and when you find one, it's like, yeah, it's special. Right. Yeah, you take that for granted. That's for sure. Yeah, that's a good service, bro. For real.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. So the topics. What are you saying?
Hot topics.
Yeah. So it's been some topics out here, man. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on in the country, the world, man. It's like the shooting is just going crazy. People get shot.
Right.
I know, Black Pearl, you were telling me about somebody got shot over some sweet and sour sauce, didn't it?
Well, got stabbed.
Come on, got stabbed. Oh.
And the person was 16, right? It's not that serious. I just feel life is just so much more valuable than some sweet and sour sauce. Even the nuggets, you dip it in the sweet and sour sauce. Like.
The victim was 16 or the perp was 16?
Victim.
Wow.
Jeez.
I mean, if the perp was 16, would that be any better? It just doesn't.
No. Just trying to understand.
I guess my thing is just where are we failing the understanding of the value of life. That's when I'm like, because that's what it is. At 16, I was thinking about dying. We could throw some hands, but I'm not stabbing you over no sweet and sour sauce. What you mean?
Real talk though. Like seriously, including with me being on the law enforcement side also.
12.
Yeah, right. 50, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, with me being on that side of the spectrum, definitely these younger kids and younger generation, they really, you know, they don't value life at all. They don't care about going to prison. They don't care about, you know, doing these things and the repercussions come behind it like we do. You know, most older folks and mature people, we you know recognize that, but like the younger people, they don't. And a lot of the rap music that they listen to, that's all they portray is drugs, you know, murder, you know, all that kind of stuff, and it just affects them. You know, we have marijuana and different things that's in play. Everybody's vaping. Everybody thinks, you know, gang banging is cool now, toting a gun, selling dope. That's what's in. Even the young women, they think they got to show their bodies off and twerk, do all this stuff because that's what's trending. So that's
booty hole song, man.
But that's why they're losing their life over sweet and sour. Right. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's true. So, yeah, that's crazy. So, I know UNC, somebody got shot.
An Asian graduate student was shot, but that only one victim. I mean, that it's good, but only one victim in that.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, so you know that was wild. What else is going on in the news, man?
Jacksonville, Florida, another shooting.
Was that the Dollar General one?
Yeah, Jacksonville. You got the racist redneck going shooting people, and Florida, man, Grand Wizard of Florida. I saw he went and spoke, and there was a bunch of people, a bunch of black people, and they started booing him. He had like he was surprised.
He is surprised. How dare you? How dare you?
Crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, man. So the guy had a manifesto, said he hated us, you know, but he said N-words because he was on some other stuff. And
I'm sure he said that standing behind some people.
Yeah, went to a black neighborhood and just made sure he got rid of some people. Not cool at all. Not cool at all. Wow. I feel like, man, sometimes like things are going a little backwards, man. I don't know if it was going backwards or if it's just, you know, we just seeing that it's just been that way. I don't know, man. But
he went to HBCU in Jacksonville first.
And Edward Waters, yeah.
And the security guard was like, "Nah, you ain't coming up here." But his intent was to get on that campus.
Wow.
Shout out to that security guard, man.
Absolutely.
That's the thing about security, man. When you do the right thing, people don't really know until you mess up. You know, it's one of those kind of jobs.
That's life. That's not just security.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's life.
You want top till you're not. That's what it is.
But shout out to the security guard, man, who shut him down, because that could have been ugly. That could have been ugly. You know, so hopefully things can get better, man. Get that Grand Wizard out of there in Florida.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I'm gonna tell you, like, what's really killing me right now is that you got ex-president Donald Trump, who is got a RICO charge on him, several felony charges, been arrested, been arraigned, and the Republican Party still has him in the lead as their approval rate.
They eat it up.
Yo, this guy is like committed almost, I don't know how many felons. Everybody that was on his camp went to jail, went to prison, and y'all still want to put this guy back in? Yo, it's crazy, man. It's country.
Like he got a record label and some albums out.
The White Suge Knight.
But they're coming together. Can we do the same so it don't happen? That's the real
question. That's the key.
That's the real question. They coming together. It don't matter. They strong and wrong, but they're coming together, right? The key is, can we come together to stop it?
Let's see. We'll see. Them little white chairs won't get us but so far. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
You
know. What's our topic tonight, T?
Oh man, so we're talking about blended families, stepdaddies, stepmamas, and so the story that kind of sparked the conversation for us was my man Steve, Harvey, right? He's been in the news about a bunch of stuff. I don't know. They say his wife is cheating on him and with a bodyguard and chef. I don't know. Some people say it's true. He came out. He didn't even say it's not true. He just said they're good. So I don't know. They might be doing some damage control. I wasn't on that part. We were talking about the step parent angle. So we're talking about blended families, and when you take on another family and take on somebody else's kids, do you prioritize your kids? How does that work? That's the question in the conversation. So with him, the conversation was that when he married what's her name, Marjorie.
Mm-hmm.
Marjorie. He married Marjorie. That he adopted her kids. Lori, Lori Harvey. She be all over the internet. So he adopted them, and his blood children kind of got neglected. So if his actual daughter needed something, he'd be like, I gotta holler at Marjorie to see if we can do that for you. Mm-hmm. But the stepchildren, they got whatever they want. So that was kind of the thing. Some people were saying that whatever happened to him was karma because the way he did his ex-wives and his actual children. I don't know. With them, you never know what's true. People be covering stuff up. But if that's true, that brings the conversation about blended families. Like, what are some of the highs and lows and do's and don'ts of dealing with a blended family, or is it even worth it? So it's a lot of conversations with that. Some conversations I've heard is men that it's not worth it for a man, or from the man's standpoint. So that's what we're gonna get into tonight. Have the conversation. What's up with blended families? All right.
Well, can I just say, after a certain age, you don't have much choice. You're either gonna blend or you're not. It's not gonna happen. Like, you're not walking into a relationship with someone who's 50. Like, I don't want to mess with you if you don't have kids. It's just not gonna. It's not. Gonna. So let me just start off with that. Pros and cons. I know we all have different experiences. I think I experienced both myself, but it wasn't because of the kids. It was because the lack of foundation from their parents. I was in a marriage for years and had stepkids that called me mom, which was horrible for them because their mother did not like that. But they
would throw hands with you.
What? No.
I see that sometimes, and I'd be like, they be like, "Oh, you call my children mom,"
No, they used to call me mommy, but think about it. They were coming into a house where their siblings were calling me mommy. So they were just trying to, blend. Yeah. And it didn't bother me because they didn't call their mother mommy. They called their mother ma'am, right? Mm-hmm. I took care of those kids like they were mine. If we went school shopping, I went and got their stuff. If my kids got taps, they got taps too. I mean, of course, if they did something. So they were my kids, but never, ever did their mother accept that. To this day, I've only had one dialogue with her, in the hospital, years of staying up with sick kids, birthdays, driving 6-7 hours to go see them. And when my ex-husband and I got divorced, I mourned them like I lost, because that was it. I wasn't talking to them anymore, whatever. Fast forward. Yeah. Mourn. Like, I remember, I was good. And I think maybe 6 months passed. It was like summertime, you're getting them for the summer. And, I was like in the shower and I just started sobbing because it's like, I lost my kids. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So went through that. Fast forward to today, they don't call me mommy anymore. They call me dad because they don't have a relationship with their father, but I still see them. And I feel like every part of it was worth it. The hurt is just like if something were to happen to your own kids. I think it was worth it. I don't think they were the problem. I think it was their parents who couldn't get their lives together. So that's me, but it is a very, very, very thankless job. That's and that's where I'm gonna leave it at that. So
Okay. All right. Yeah. Uh, Doctor, what are your thoughts on it?
So I'm a stepmom as well. I don't
Okay.
call my stepchildren. They are my kids. So when people ask how many children do you have, I say 5 because they are all mine, every last one of them. And so kind of along the same line, when the children were younger, we did kind of have like this pull of a sort because I think it was a concern of somebody, like you said, thinking I'm trying to be mommy, and I'm not. I mean, you got a mom, you know what I mean? But it was a respect thing. But with that being said, as time moved forward, um, the thankfulness came later. Like both of my children, my stepchildren, both of my children said, and they call me baby cakes. Well, one called me baby cakes. Um, the other one, he does call me mama. But they thank me because anytime they need me, I'm there. You know, um, and that's just how it is. And even on the flip side, with my husband being a step parent to my children, he caught it. He caught it from my son. He did. But it was a matter of not appreciating him for filling in, if you will, filling in that void of being his father. And then when he had the opportunity to meet his father, he was like, again, the thankfulness came later, because he was in his 20s by the time he came to my husband. He was like, Daddy, I'm so sorry for being a butthole. He didn't say butthole, he said something else.
I'm sure he didn't.
But he was like, I'm sorry for being a butthole. And he was like, basically he was telling him, you're a solid dude. And I'm so sorry for everything I took you through, because you have always been there for me. And my biological father could not tolerate me and be in my presence for 2 weeks.
So were there challenges with co-parenting, or there weren't any challenges? Because I know you just said the thing about your son's father was not around.
Yeah.
So there wasn't like a competition to say of co-parenting.
Yeah. My husband didn't have to deal with either one of my ex-husbands. My husband is, as y'all know, he's my third husband. And so, so he didn't have to deal with my ex-husbands at all. But to be transparent, there was some tension of something. I don't know what it was, but it was some tension or something initially on my side. But then just maturity, I think, took place, and it was like, okay, everything is everything.
So you had tension with somebody?
It was some tension.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did you throw hands?
No, nobody was throwing hands. No, sir.
Okay,
I don't know why you want somebody
to Hey, I don't know. I feel toxic tonight. I don't know what's going on. That's what I want.
Yeah, but real talk though, for real. Just to chime in, it is hard. I can kind of like give you insight on both sides. So as a younger man, I'm married and I didn't have any kids, but my wife at that time did have kids. So as I was raising them and stuff, the youngest child did start calling me dad, which felt good because I didn't have any biological kids. But then but her real father was like, don't call him dad, that ain't your dad, that type of stuff. And she stopped doing that because her biological dad, like, yeah, that's not your dad, I'm your dad type stuff. It was what it was. From that point on, I was always rooted. I was, you know what I'm saying? But then at a later age in my life, you know what I'm saying, I remarried, and my wife now has two other children, and we have a biological son. And so now I had to readjust to, you know what I'm saying, being with two other young ladies that I have to be a father to. And I have raised them for a long time, for, at least 10 years. I've been in their life, 10 to 11 years I've been in their life. So when you look at that, you got to realize that certain things that happen when mom disciplined them versus I really don't get involved because I feel awkward, you know what I'm saying, as a stepfather, like trying to, you know what I'm saying, get in their grill. But I do give my advice or my opinion when I feel like something that hasn't been done right or they could do better or whatever. But as far as other things, I kind of fall back and let her mom handle those things.
Okay, so you don't you don't do like the discipline like that.
Nah.
Okay, because I know
Is it because they're girls or just because you feel you're the stepdad?
Just because I feel that I'm the stepdad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Certain things like I said, I give my opinion. I'm gonna say what I got to say, and listen to me. You take that advice. That's up to you. But that's as far as I'm gonna take it. Now, moms want to step in and be like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. That's on them.
And it's interesting that you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Because I was going to piggyback off of that point about the discipline, because that's a very good point that you brought up. Because for me, I did not. I would verbally redirect my stepson, but I didn't like because I'm old school. You get meat fry around here. I don't call it no tip taps. I don't call it no pity pats. You're gonna get your tail toe up, break it down, because we old school, okay? So I did not discipline him from that standpoint. I would discipline my own like that, but I will also say that I allowed my husband to discipline my children because and kind of like Rudy, when I met my husband, my children were 5 and 8. Okay. So again, and that's what Rudy was just speaking to, with his first set of kids.
Right.
They were younger. So when he was speaking about his daughter referring to him as daddy initially, I think she was like 3, I think, or something.
She was 2.
See what I'm saying? And so for me, like I didn't have a problem with my husband disciplining my children. Now, if I thought he was going a little too far, because sometimes my husband was wigging, and so he was, and so when I felt like he was going too far, I would have a private conversation with him. I did not do that in front of the children.
Oh, he did it the right way. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Or if he popped, because he was good about popping the boys in the back of the head. That's a pet peeve of mine. Don't hit nobody in the back of the head.
But it gets the point across.
It does, but like let's not do that. So so for me, when he would do that, especially if I've already had a conversation, like I would call him out. Like, didn't I just like why are you doing that? And I just leave it at that because we already had the conversation, and I just say that. But for the most part, outside of that incident, those conversations were held between he and I, and not in front of the children.
So I'm gonna be real with y'all, just like you play devil's advocate sometimes with Royal. You guys don't represent the average blended family. There is a large lack of maturity. So there are a lot of people out here trying to make things work with their significant other, and they have to deal with the pettiness from the other parent, or my mama said you don't have to, and you not this, and da 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 da, and the watching your significant other suffer because their person that they're supposed to be co-parent with is using the child as a pawn because here you are, this other person. Right. So that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people say
we went through that. I'm not going to elaborate on that.
Okay, well, the average now.
But yeah, but I mean, we did go through that.
So that's something that makes people say, I don't want to get involved, especially when they have young kids. I don't want to get involved with someone who has young kids because I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah, that's why when I was when I was single, I came across a few women that were like single mothers. And when I was younger, I was like, nah, that's an absolute negative. Oh, you got a kid. And some of them got offended. They were like, why? Why? It's not fair. I was like, welcome to life, sis.
Welcome to life, sis.
It's like, it's just a lot to take on. It's like, if I have an option of finding somebody without a kid, but I was younger though. So now if I was older, like you said, you gotta eat that if you're older, unless you unless you sugar daddy status,
Shut up.
I
would not date someone who had a kid under 5. I wouldn't.
But in real life, you got to realize, even at a young age, I don't care if you're an old man looking for a younger girl or a young man looking for what. People are having kids at a younger age at this point in our lives. And so to find anybody above 20 that maybe don't have at least one child is almost like trying to find a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? Come on, let's be real.
Because that's what I was about to say. Like statistics will show, the doctor point, right? The statistics will show that 40% of families are blended families.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's just reality. And to each their own, but I feel like, and I'll speak for myself, and I'm sure the guests would agree as well, which is when you make the decision not to take on a blended family or get into a relationship. And again, everybody's different. If you got a few kids, and because we've had a show about having multiple children, right? And I remember Tyrone was like, you got 4 or 5 kids. Woo!
Yeah, I remember that too.
But if you got like a couple of kids or whatever, if you are not willing to step out there, and because the woman or the man might be solid, but because you got a problem with being in a relationship with somebody with kids, you might be missing out on your blessing because of the fact that you was like, I can't do nobody else's kids, but you don't even know if it's going to be like that. Yeah. Because everything may be tight. And even if it's not tight, because it may be some loose ends, people might be still holding on to some feelings, or somebody might be still a little territorial from a parental standpoint. But if you just make that off the cuff decision, that's a deal breaker, then you just gonna possibly be single for the rest of your life. And if you cool with that, my brother or my sister, then God bless you. But
okay,
well, it's gotta be a short lease though. What them kids bad as hell?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's just for me, it's the age. The very young kids
don't want to listen, like trying to run over you, like
baby kids
is a turn off. You hear me? Like,
yes,
you got badass kids don't want to listen, I may be feeling you, but fuck it, I'm out.
No, and I agree. And this is why I said I don't do kids under 5. Like, and I think a lot of times, and I've just seen this. I have not done this. I see women who get with men, and all of a sudden that man turned into like a babysitter. Like they out like, oh, you stay with your Uncle Jay.
Nah. Hey, even real talk, like even if women got a lot of drama that have like Dr. Roy Rain was saying, you know what I'm saying? Like in reality, like some stuff come with more baggage. And if a woman got a lot of baggage, like that is a complete turn off. Like I'm you know what I'm saying? Including once you get older, you at a point in your life like, I ain't trying to deal with no drama. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be cool, mellow. Like I just want somebody that I can vibe with and go with. You know what I'm saying? But drama, if you got that, it's over.
Right.
I'm not trying to confront no baby daddies.
No. For what?
But
especially I be concealed carrying. Ooh, boy, you
right for what? For what?
About to be Swiss cheese.
You got there. It's like, yo, you look fine and everything, mom, but yeah, I'm gonna have to let that go. But you know what I'm saying? You take care of yourself, though. I see you.
Is that real? Like you said it before. Wait.
But I feel you though. But here's the other side of it though. Like, in those situations, sometimes those children are needing that strong woman or that strong. I'm gonna say parental figure. I won't need that. They need that strong parental figure, whether it's the mom or the dad, to come in and kind of set some things in order. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm not saying it's always the case. I'm just again, but you know,
I hate it for them. I hate it for them kids.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with you, and I'm gonna say it just like this. That shit is tough. Okay,
hope you find a coach or a teacher somewhere.
You are signing up for a war that's already in progress.
That takes real love. That takes real love, real commitment.
Like it takes. I know everything's like a choice you choose, but I'm telling you, some of the hardest things I did was being the bigger person in a situation where no other adult was stepping the fuck up to be the bigger person, because you're like, well, the kids need better. The kids need better. And when they got better, they were gone. And you sitting there like, damn, the fuck? You know what I mean? So it's not an easy job. It messes with your emotions. It messes with your head. And worse, it messes with your relationship.
It can. It sure can. Yeah. And this is why when you get into a relationship with someone with children, and this is Rain talking.
Yeah.
When you get into a relationship with someone with children, get to know that person one-on-one. I really have a problem, and again, that's what I'm saying. This is Rain speaking. I really have a problem. It's a pet peeve of mine. Because when you talk about staying with Uncle Tony and stuff like that, or whatever, I really have a problem with women or men who just freely bring someone around their kids before you get to really know them. Because number one, we got a lot of pedophiles out here. Let's be clear. Okay. You don't, and if you got daughters or sons, because it can go both ways.
Yeah,
you're just gonna be bringing all Willie, Tom, John, and the boys through. Stop bringing people into your. Stop bringing these people into your home and into your children's lives before you get to know them. Because once you get to know them, this dialogue that we're having on this platform tonight is what you have with that individual. You know what I'm saying? To go ahead on and fill out, to y'all point, if this is going to work or no, ma. Like Rudy said, no, ma. You look good, but I'm gonna see you on the other side.
He did this. You gotta do this. He did this.
My best bet would be I would wait. If I was out there, I would wait for somebody or find somebody who had some grown kids. Who started early.
What did I say? Y'all looked at me like I was crazy when I said no one under 5.
Hey, grown kids are the best kids. You see what I'm saying?
What?
Here's the other thing. When you're building a relationship with someone's children, I think sometimes you have to ask yourself, if I could continue this relationship with this child, if this relationship didn't work, would I? Because you're still making an impact in that child's life, regardless if you stay with that person or not. And I think, to Rain's point, is why when my kids were younger, nobody crossed that threshold. We're not doing that until I was sure. Because what happens is when you are not together anymore, who else gets hurt? The kids don't understand that. Oh man, this dude had mad drama. So I was like, nah, I'm good. They don't understand that, right? They already, at least in my opinion, my kids already felt abandoned by their own dad. Why set up another situation with someone else and not know what's going on? But I don't think some people think that deep. Like, this is still another relationship I'm building. And so
that's why it feels like such a bad idea to me. It's like, now when I break up, I gotta be hurt about missing the kid too. Hell no.
know, if nobody's happy, nobody's happy. So you gotta go find your happy too.
Right. You got to
And,
find.
I really feel like when you commit to something like that, you really have to commit to it, because just like I was saying, like with my first marriage, I have 2 stepdaughters, I have 2 grandkids, and like even now that me and her, their mom isn't married anymore, like they're still part of my life because I raised them for almost 20 years. You know what I'm saying? They're part of my life. You know what I'm saying? So
you can't cut that off.
You know what I mean? That's still my granddaughter. That's still my daughter. That's still my grandson. And the same thing when I got remarried again. When I got remarried again, I had to understand that this came with a commitment, not just with her, but with her kids. And I had to make sure that I was ready to be that father, their role model, that person to help raise them and mold them and build them, because their father may not be as active in their life as he should be. So I have to fill that void so that I can ensure that, they have that whole rounded, lifestyle of having a 2-parent home, which a lot of people don't get to get. They have a single parent home, which causes a lot of issues with young kids now.
Yeah.
But so Rudy, I got a quick question for you. I just thought about this. So remember the viral video with the kid with the McDonald's?
Right. Yeah.
You bring McDonald's for everybody, or who you bringing McDonald's to?
Absolutely, because I feel like this. If I'm dealing with a female, and even though she just got my son, but she got other kids, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, do you want me to bring something for everybody? Because I wouldn't just go up there and just hand my son something to eat, knowing that she got other kids and I didn't even offer. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't that kind of dude.
Now she had 5 kids, if memory serves me right.
Look, Rudy's like all or nothing. All or nothing.
That woman would never know my name, but
oh my god! But I think something.
You got too many kids.
I think 2 words that Rudy used that are very important is you're making a commitment. You have to make sure you're ready. So if you actually put it, are you ready for that commitment? Is the question you gotta keep asking yourself. You like when you say yes, I'm in it. I'm 10 toes down. You're saying I'm in it. Not just when, the getting is good and the loving and we bumping. I'm there for everything that comes along with you because we're going to make this work. I don't think everyone is like that. I think people just like, ooh, the cootie good. I'm in there. And then, damn, she got 5 kids.
They be like, hey, can you get this? And be like, man, get out of my face. Get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you're not ready for the commitment, then you need to let it be known what it is up front. If it's just a little hit and run, whatever, you know what I'm saying, then that's what it is. But once you make that commitment, those kids become your kids. You know what I'm saying? And you have to assume responsibility for all of them.
And Pearl, you are absolutely right when you said that, because as I'm listening to our dialogue, I'm reflecting on everything that's being said, and to flip the script, to look at it from that other side of the coin, you're absolutely right. There are individuals, men and women, both, who are in relationships where they are being very selfish. And I'm going to call it for what it is. You're being selfish because you will have a situation where you want a particular lifestyle for your kids, but that stepchild, he's and I will not say this word because I tell you guys jokingly, I call people a bitch in a minute. I don't have a problem with that B word, but the other B word for a child that doesn't have a parent, I don't say that word at all.
Oh.
I can't stand that word. And that word will never part my lips. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about there in the TV land,
Google it.
Just look for the other.
You can't call no kid that.
No,
but people do call kids that.
No, people calling kids that.
Yes,
they be like, you sorry, ASS B word.
I don't ever hear.
And so for me, that's when you are being downright selfish because you don't want this child to experience the same thing or feel and basically devaluing them to in comparison to your kids? Like, how dare you? What makes you and your children, because you're making it this way, more superior than the other? Even though
Well, I
everybody's
think it's
in the same household or from the same parent or whatever they say.
And I know firsthand
Yes,
how
so
it feels as a stepchild not to be treated as equal as your biological child.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? You would do XYZ for your biological child, but me being the stepchild, I get none of that.
Nothing.
I know what it feel like. So
I think it's a big difference. Yeah, like if you're in the relationship and the kids are there, you gotta treat the kids right. Now, if it's like
but
if you're like we're not
case.
together though, we ain't together.
No, they were together. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. If
so that's why I was playing. So if they ain't together, then my kid get McDonald's and the other kids, you been holiday dads to get them some.
But would you bring your
That's just
child
me.
home in front of their siblings with the McDonald's? Because now you're causing division amongst siblings.
I ain't gonna do that shit. Hey, look, I was with you, Tyrone, but I ain't gonna do that, man. I ain't that type.
I know.
If you that broke or you in that much of a struggle, like nigga, you can't buy the rest of the kids nothing to eat. Like, damn, nigga, you need to get your shit together.
Yes.
Number one, you can't afford to
so without problem
meals. Damn, nigga, what is you doing with your money?
Without
he
problem,
said, not $1 millionaire. That's what he said.
If I came and pick my son up or daughter up, I wouldn't like dangle it in other kids. If I know they like, babying it out, like I wouldn't dangle it in their face. We would eat together and have our time. I drop my kid off full, and I'd be like, I'd be like, hey, bro, don't be flexing on them, just, now. I don't know.
Niggas like, come on, sit in the car.
It depends on the
car and then go on out.
Look, we can smell them French fries on your breath. Don't come up in here.
Hey,
stop it.
Hey, look, man, mom got to make better choices. I don't know.
But seriously, it is. It's very disheartening. And when you spoke, Pearl, earlier about it potentially creating problems within the marriage, it also can potentially create problems between that child and parent relationship. Because if that child feels like and recognizes, especially as they get older, wait a minute, this is a two-sided thing. Even if it's not intentional or not fully going on, maybe that parent is not fully going along with it, but their hands are kind of tied because they don't know how to deal with the situation. It still can create potential problems between, or resentment, to be quite blunt, between that child and their biological parent.
But do you know what's also missing? Healthy boundaries. I think sometimes people get into those situations and they're not healthy boundaries. What I mean by that, I get it. You're a child. There's a boundary for a child.
Yeah.
There's a boundary for your partner. Like, but those are discussions, like you said, getting to know that person one-on-one. I think sometimes we just mesh, and it's like the child's competing with the counterpart, and the counterpart's competing with the other parent. It's too much going on because we don't know our lane, but more important, we don't realize that we should all have the same mission in this. We're raising children. I'm not here to compete with you. You slid over. The door was open. I slid into it's my turn, right? I'm doing my relationship. But at the same time, nothing you do to me as the counterpart of the person you used to be with is going to help your child. So why not get on the same page? It's so much smoother, right? You have an extended family, because I'm letting you know being a parent ain't easy. So why not co-parent and get it over with? But again, it goes back to what you're saying. A maturity level is not present, because now you got who she thinks she is. That's not the point. I know how to push your child out. I'm well aware, right? So why can't we just get on the same page and realize this is not a competition about who can have the person? Because it doesn't just happen with two women. It happens with men also. Mm-hmm. Let's figure out what those boundaries are so we can make it work. Because at the end, honestly, it's the kid that suffers. At the end, it's the kid that suffers.
Absolutely.
And just from, I'm sorry, go ahead, Roya.
No, I was agreeing with you. I was
and just from me, something as, and I don't know if you guys experienced this, for me, one of the hardest things outside of how I said, I missed the kids and I lost the kids, was watching my ex-husband suffer because he wanted to be with his kids. He wanted them around. And he is in this like quiet agony of
his hands are tied. That's what I'm saying.
But he's like, I love this woman. I want to be with this woman. But in some weird way, because of this woman, or at least the narrative is because of this woman, I can't see my kids. That as a partner, that's a pain you can't control. It's just not a pain. And it's not fair, right? It's not fair. I think all of that goes into, is it worth being a step parent? But then we go back to the fact of so many blended families. How can we avoid that? And
a lot of things can come from that, because me being a school resource officer, I'm around kids daily. I've been doing it for 8 years now, and I see how issues that may be going on with a blended family can cause that child, that student, to come with so many issues at school because of things that's going on at home. You know what I'm saying? So, you really have to be careful about blended families, because like you said, Black Pearl, like, it's not just affecting the adults, it's definitely affecting the kids, seeing their mom go through abusive relationships or relationship after relationship, guy after guy, you know what I'm saying? Different living situations. They living fine one time, then they in a hotel, then they back at an apartment, then they done found somebody that's decent. They're back and forth. That really puts trauma on a kid's brain.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the benefit, when you spoke about that earlier, Pearl, you had said that we're about the benefits of being in a blended family is what you just said beautifully. You have an extended family. Because it's not just you and your babies, or your babies and your significant other, but you gain additional children and their children, and it's a beautiful thing. Also, one thing I used to tell my husband when the kids were small is, if you do right by your stepkids, what you will find oftentimes is those are the ones that will go hardest for you before your own biological. And I know that sounds really jacked up, but that's the truth. And so, that's if you're treating both of them equally. I'm not saying like treat one better than the other. What I'm saying is, if you treat all your children the same, those stepchildren will go for you till the end of time, because they appreciate the sacrifice and the commitment that Rudy was speaking to. They appreciate that because you didn't have to do that. You made a choice to be a part of their life. You know what I'm saying? And I can say for myself and Rudy, because y'all, that's my baby brother. For those that don't know who Rudy is to me, yeah, that's him. That's
Bro, yeah, that's me.
That's me. But we come from a family where, even though our parents divorced and they got remarried, once some healing took place within their marriage or their divorce and separation, they are still best friends to this day. And my dad will tell anybody, if our mother needs him, he's coming to support her. And so, because of that indoctrination, all of us, me and my brothers, we all carry that. And so I say that to say that with myself, I have a great relationship with my stepdaughter's mom. which didn't, in the beginning, it didn't exist. But, you know, like I said, you mature, you go through some things and you figure some things out. She's been to my home. He comes to get gatherings. Everything is love. And same thing for Rudy. I mean, he can elaborate, but my point is, like, that's where we come from. And when you said earlier, Pearl, y'all are different. Yeah, baby, you're probably right, Pearl. We a little different.
Yeah, we're a little different. Yeah, we're a little different.
Just a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, because my wife gets along with my ex-wife. We go to events with my ex-wife kids, and my ex-wife may be there. We all get along because at the end of the day, I've raised those kids. They are my kids. You know, things transpired. I'm remarried, but there's still respect there where we all can enjoy the kids and get along.
Yeah. So there's a level of maturity there.
Absolutely.
That's how it's supposed to be, man. That's
It should. Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times I see it not happen that way.
Right.
You know, I ain't got time for none of that. I'm glad I just happened to get lucky and not have to go through it, because, you know, sometimes people can get a little crazy.
Right.
I ain't got time for that. So
don't throw in the towel, y'all. You know, I don't want her. I don't want him. We got kids. Y'all better check on your Boaz, because you might be missing them, and then you're gonna be looking like an ass because you're gonna miss them. So,
but now watch out though. Now if you see them red flags, some kids be bad.
And there's a lot of red flags. I tell anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like sometimes when I see females, and I be like, man, like, she a nice looking woman, she a nice looking female. She might be in her 30s or maybe early 40s. It's like, damn, she ain't never been married, no nothing. Like, that's red flags to me. Like, why nobody ain't snagged her? Why nobody ain't hollering? Why she ain't got?
Maybe she was getting her education.
Nothing. Like, something got to be wrong with her.
Got to be.
Red flags. Got to be.
No man, right?
No, but seriously, she couldn't just be focused on her career and her education. No. I'm just asking. I'm not implying. I'm asking.
Well, she messed up on that one then.
So she got, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she do got kids, like I said, you ain't never been married. Nobody never sat down with you. Like, something is wrong.
Yeah, but now on the flip side, you had, you know, even though he's passed, you had Kevin Samuels that said if you're in your 30s with a kid, you used up. You use goods. You can't win. He did. He said that. He said you use goods. He said,
but people buy used cars.
True. People buy used clothes and they look brand new on that other person.
They got a whole Goodwill store.
That's a whole person right there.
You just got to find the right. Sometimes it's just a diamond in the rough. That's you know what I mean? It's just a you know what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
That's what they say.
Sometimes it's not that you was ever trash, you just was with the wrong one.
And look, and if you definitely just don't want to be a step parent, you know, there's always, you know, get your money right, be a sugar daddy. There's a lot of sugar babies out there. Are
you giving options?
Yeah, I'm giving options. You can be a sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy is on top of the game right now.
Ain't that a zaddy? That's a zaddy, right? That's what you call it now. You don't call it a sugar daddy. You call it a zaddy. Hey, zaddy.
Whatever. Zaddy market is booming. Hey, zaddy. Or you could just be patient. Get your sugar daddy phase in and wait for them kids to get grown.
Or you could be like Al Pacino and have a girlfriend
in there. Say what?
You could be like Al Pacino and have a girlfriend that's 23.
He has some money for that.
I mean, he about to have a baby.
Yeah, that motherfucker look like death. He look like death. He's just
twice. Death twice over.
Damn. That's like,
I'm sure he got to use a toothpick to hold his thing up. Like,
right.
But listen, be honest with them people, though. You gotta have some bread. You can't be sitting here on Medicaid getting your check every month.
Did you say Medicaid?
That ain't gonna work.
He said
you gotta have some Al Pacino money to get the 24.
And he looked like he need to be in hospice right now.
Yeah. It don't matter. I promise you, his money made that bad boy stand up, and he just lay there like
he got the finest blue pill in the land.
Yes, Lord.
He don't even got a blue pill. He got a purple one. That's how much money
he got a pill you ain't seen. You ain't seen that brand.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
That's that new right there. Your money ain't right to do that.
Hey, I'll buy one, put in a glass jar in case I need it. Hey, when the time comes, wow. I'm gonna bust that thing open. Wow, we need you.
We can never just be serious one time, can we? We just
you know what they say about
I am serious. I'm having everything ready.
We can
you gotta be ready.
So do you feel? I guess we're like rounding that corner. So do you really feel like you should be anti-step parent? Like, because I think your original question was, is it even worth it? Right, Tyrone. That was your
Is it even worth it?
So do y'all think it's worth it?
I think pretty decent. I really think it is, and like I said, it just basically, to summarize, it depends on your maturity level, your growth as a man or a woman, and your level of commitment. That's what it really boils down to. And if all of those things meet up, then you would be a great parent to any blended family, because you're going to treat that child just as you would your own biological child. That's what it boils down to.
Okay. What about you, Roy?
No, I think Rudy summed it up. That's the key. And just to be mindful of your partner. Be mindful of who you're connecting with. Because if you're not aligned with one another, then you're just not aligned. And again, my pet peeve, if she got kids and she just the first couple of dates, come on over and come on to my house. Listen, something she's moving too fast, because if she moving that fast with you, think about how many other brothers she done moved that fast. And everybody know Uncle Tyrone, Uncle James, and Uncle Jim, and the rest of the crew.
Those them baby kids right there.
You don't know Uncle
Tyrone. Well, I guess Tyrone, you can't answer. So I'm gonna say, for me, I'm on the fence with it. I think one of the best experiences I had was being a mother to the 2 additional children that came to us. It was just a wonderful experience. And I love those kids. Like, you'll never, just, when we're explaining things, but I always go, this is my daughter, this is my son, this is right. But the stress that came along with it, and the emotional toll that it took, it was thankless way before it was a gratitude type of situation. But I say that to say it was not the kids' fault. And it took me my own maturing to realize they come along with this baggage, but they didn't ask for this baggage. No one asked for their mom. No one asked for their dad. No one asked for the drama that comes along with it. I mean, it was like police officers and all this, stuff involved. But I think it took me a while to realize they're a victim in the situation. I'm a part of the situation, but they're a victim. And so it took me some time. So my answer to that remains, you have to be really strong and really mature. And I'm going to go echo Rudy's thing, ready for the commitment that you're getting into for it to work. If you're not, don't. That's where I'm at. And I wasn't, and if I had a chance to go back, I would still want to experience after the understanding of what I was getting into. So that's my answer.
Yeah. I guess I would say, for me, I want my perspective. I haven't had a lot of experience with it. And so, and when I had a chance to, I avoided that shit. So, so I would say, if it's something you want to do and you open to, then yeah, go do it. But don't be thirsty about it. Don't be like looking at, some chick that's thick and go, oh yeah, she bad. And then you get into a situation where them kids is tying your ass up and they just driving you crazy. So I would say just go into it with your eyes open, if that's what you're into. If you're not, I gave you the options. There's sugar daddy or zaddy life, or there's wait for the room, or just search for somebody without kids. If that's really what your standard, And that's okay if you don't want to be a step parent. That's cool. You just gotta, find your tribe. I always say, find your tribe. Don't force it. Right. If you ain't trying to do it, you ain't trying to do it. If you are, you are. And that's how I live my life. And I advise others to do the same. Find your tribe and be happy. But you might find that them step kids, and they might now if that step kid is like 14, he like 6'5", and you time this 40. Well, you better jump in there. You better jump in that thing and be stepdaddy. Get him on that field.
Really?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
About your pockets. Really?
I'm kind of joking. I'm kind of. You might want to get in there.
You joking till you're not. That's what that is.
Until you're not. Yeah. Hey, but yeah, just make sure test them kids 40s, and if they slow, then I don't know, move on.
Oh my God, Tyrone, please.
I'm kidding.
Stop. All right, well, we made it to the hour.
Yes, we did. We made it.
Great conversation. Great conversation. Definitely a great storyline. I think if people tune in, they're gonna find a lot of this information valuable to them in their everyday life. And definitely check out this podcast. Anybody who may be just going through something, this is the podcast to link up with all types of different discussions, different topics. It's hot.
Thank you, Rudy. And don't forget to check out R&T Visions Photography. Their website is scrolling on the bottom. Make those special moments stand still.
Don't be digging for them pictures, trying to find. Hey, get your pictures in. Right. All right. Now listen. So, come check us out. If you're not part of YouTube, you're wrong.
I was waiting.
Subscribe to that thing. When we did this, the idea was, man, can we do a podcast that's respectful and everybody ain't killing each other, in the conversation. And I think we did a good job with it, man. So if you're looking for that, come check us out. We get a little ratchet some weeks. We get a little bit of ratchet sometimes,
but balanced.
But we're not going to overdose. You overdosing on foolishness, man. Yeah. It's all about good, respectful, relevant conversations, man. So come check us out. If you're not joined the Facebook group, you're wrong. Go ahead and join that. And if you're in the group, hey, feel free to share your thoughts, share your comments, and be active. And if not, we ain't gonna beat you up. Just join that thing and enjoy it. All right. So, you know what I'm about to say. You've been part of the experience. Well, the experience is always good. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye, guys.